Russia spent billions preparing for this war, but the weapon that terrified them the most came from a Ukrainian garage. And what happened next, nobody was ready for. The story begins on a freezing morning in 2022. Russian tanks rolled across the border like a steel avalanche. Jets roared overhead, missiles cracked the sky open. Everyone thought Ukraine would fall in days. But hidden far from the front, a small group of engineers stared at something almost laughable. A plastic commercial drone. A toy. One of them whispered, "What if this little thing could fight back?" The idea sounded insane. A toy drone versus a modern army? But this war wasn't about strength. It was about survival. And desperate minds create dangerous ideas. They ripped the drone apart, modified the battery, attached a tiny explosive. And when they sent it into the night, history quietly shifted. The drone floated over a Russian tank, stopped, hovered. One drop, one flash, one tank worth millions. Gone. The engineers didn't speak because they knew this was just the beginning, and Russia had no idea what was coming next. Within weeks, Russian soldiers began hearing a noise, a faint buzzing in the sky. At first they ignored it. Just a toy, they said. But toys aren't supposed to destroy armored columns. Convoys vanished. Tanks erupted in flames. Ammo trucks exploded without warning. The buzzing grew louder, more frequent, more coordinated. And here's the part that terrified Russia most. They couldn't shoot them down. And this wasn't even Ukraine's final trick. Ukraine introduced something new, something faster, something deadly. The FPV drone. Pilots wore VR goggles and flew drones like racing machines, through forests, over trenches, straight into tank engines. One pilot said, "When I put on the goggles, I become the drone." Russia had never faced a weapon like this. Bullets missed them. Tanks couldn't see them. Anti-air systems ignored them. And the worst part? Ukraine could build thousands. But the FPV era was only the second wave. The third one changed everything. Ukraine started launching long-range drones. Not 5 kilometers, not 20 kilometers, but 300, 500, or even 1,000 kilometers. These drones flew like ghosts, silent, low, invisible. And suddenly, oil depots deep inside Russia exploded. Air bases far from the front line burned. Weapon factories shook at midnight. Then the impossible happened. Moscow was hit. Even Russia's capital, the heart of its power, wasn't safe. Russia told its people, "Our skies are protected." Ukraine replied, "Let's test that." Here's the truth Russia hates. A Ukrainian drone costing $400 can destroy a Russian tank worth $3 million. That's not a battle. That's an economic massacre. Every tank destroyed pushed Russia deeper into financial collapse. Every Ukraine drone launched cost almost nothing. Russia finally realized they weren't fighting an army. They were fighting an idea. And ideas are impossible to stop. But the psychological war was even worse. Russian soldiers began reporting the same thing. The drones don't let us sleep. They're above us all night. Sometimes the drone dropped a grenade, sometimes a camera, sometimes nothing at all. But the fear was constant. One soldier wrote, "Every sound feels like death, even insects." Units abandoned positions, commanders panicked, morale collapsed. Because how do you fight something you can't hear, can't see, and can't predict? And guess what? Russia's answer made everything worse. Desperate, Russia began welding massive metal cages on top of tanks. They looked like giant armored turtles. Heavy, awkward, ugly. But Ukraine didn't care. Drones flew under the cage, through the holes, into the vents, straight onto the engine. The turtles became tombs. And Russia realized they were losing the innovation war. But Ukraine's final move? This is the part even NATO didn't expect. Now Ukraine is building something terrifying. AI drones. Drones that don't need GPS, can't be jammed, fly in coordinated swarms, choose targets automatically. Imagine 200 drones rising into the air at once, moving like a school of fish, dividing, rejoining, attacking from every direction. No pilot, no signal, no vulnerability. If cheap drones were a nightmare, AI swarms are the apocalypse, and Russia knows it. This war proved something powerful. Ukraine didn't win battles with bigger weapons. They won with ideas. A garage beat a factory. Creativity beat tradition. A $300 drone beat a $3 million tank. And the new age of warfare has begun. Not the age of missiles, not the age of tanks, the age of drones. And Ukraine is leading it. Like, subscribe, and get ready because Ukraine's next move for 2026 will shock the world even more.